Hey everybody, this is Jeff, Swing Trade Warrior with WarriorTrading.com, back with a weekly closed swing trade recap. Pretty decent week for swing trading overall. It was a great week for trading. I'm going to go through all the trades from this week that I alerted. If you guys have any questions about anything you've seen or anything about trading in general, always happy to talk about it. Shoot me an email, jeff@warriortrading.com, or go ahead and hit me up on Skype. You can find me at Swing Trade Warrior. Contact info is below. And I've started posting my daily watch lists of the things that I'm going to be looking at to take swings on tomorrow. I've started putting them on Twitter and StockTwits. So if you guys don't follow me at Swing Warrior on StockTwits or Twitter, go ahead and check it out there too, and you get an idea of what I'm looking at. And hopefully you start seeing a lot of the same patterns that I'm seeing, and you're able to make some money off of those trades. Other than that, we'll get into our trades from this week. I'll go back to front, starting with the most recent. Today, Friday, alerted a trade on CSAL, Communication Sales and Leasing. It's a real estate investment trust that's only been trading for a little while now, and they're just coming off of positive earnings. So let me get some drawing tools out here. So yesterday we got a trade alert on this stock. Hit my scanner at the close of business yesterday here on this 4% move up on high relative volume. We had a 4% move up and a close above the 20 EMA. Now, what's important to know about the setup is that we're trading here in some very interesting support and resistance areas. The first area that we tested right here was the previous low of 2250. Now, remember, previous support will become resistance, and previous resistance will become support. So in this case, the chart always rules too. So if you see a moving average in the way, the chart will override the moving average, but moving averages are also good for support and resistance. We see this big support area here at 2250 where the price action bounced off of before coming crashing through, put in a new bottom here, and then we had a test back here on August 6th, failed that 2250 spot, which is previous support, now resistance. And we had another test of it yesterday when we got the alert on the scanner, and it failed to hold that area. What it did hold was the 20 moving average. On a day when the market sold off pretty hard at the end of the day, this thing was still strong. Now, earnings were yesterday also, and this happened to have some decent earnings. So there's a good catalyst that'll hold this up in bad market conditions. That's what we like to see. So we identify our long entry here over the 2250 area, which is the previous high from back on August 6th of this whole sideways range, and also the high yesterday from the alert on the scanner. So we're looking to get long on this trade Friday over 2250, and that's exactly what we did. Once we broke this previous support, current resistance area, we got a nice move up, about 60 cents over our entry, and we got a close just under the high of day at 2306. So my first target on this trade here is realistically going to be at 2438. Now I had a 50-cent stop set on this, looking for at least 1.5 point move. So it's about a 3-to-1 risk-reward trade. And we're looking for a move to about 2440, 2430 area where I'm going to look to scale out. We may run into some slowdown at 2350, which also happens to be the 50 EMA. After we get through 2438, my longer term target here is going to be at the previous support area right around here at 2530. So we have a couple points of room on this trade to the upside. There's really nothing that should slow it down. We're not trading in any technically complicated or high traffic areas, so it should be pretty smooth sailing back on up with the nice entry and stop now break even at 2250. There's no reason to let a 60-cent winner come against us. I haven't unloaded yet. Like I said, I'm looking to scale closer to $24, to scale out closer to $24. So we're up firmly on that trade going forward into next week. Okay, ECYT was a trade we took yesterday also. This happened to be a big intraday winner for us. I took a lot of it off the table. Once again here, we got the alert on the day before, which is right here. We have this big 4% move up on high relative volume. And then the day of the trade we got in here on the 13th, which was yesterday. Now we're looking for a move over this resistance area here. We got a close just at it. And when we got a break over the top of it, we got long on this trade and it ended up hitting a high of 587. Our entry was right around 550. So the $half area acted as a resistance from back here, back here, back here. I mean, it's all kinds of resistance all over the place, and it was support for a little while over here. Now, important to note here, we got 50-cent move. We got in at 550, and we ended up getting a 37-cent move to the upside. So I had just about 7% on this trade, 6-7% on this trade. I went ahead and scaled out most of my size. I'm looking to take profits anywhere from 5 to 15%. To get 7%, that's over my initial profit zone, profit targeting zone, so I'm more than happy to take some profits off the table, and if I don't have to wait multiple days to get it, then great. Now my stop becomes break even in this case because we did get a close at 565. I went ahead and used a much tighter stop at 560, and when the market opened, it popped up again here to 569 before selling off the rest of the day, which triggered our stop at 560. So we're out of the trade for a nice win in just a couple days. Excuse me. Okay, we took another trade, NEO on Neogenomics. This thing hit our scanner on, let's see here, the 11th. So let's find the 11th here. This thing hit our scanner on the 10th. Okay, we have this big 4% move up. We have a test of this purple line, which is the 20 moving average. We're using the 50 moving average support. We're trading in this huge flag pattern going back to early July. Huge flag pattern here. We're trading above our moving averages. We're in a very bullish pattern, and we're looking for continuation and a move to the upside. We didn't quite get our entry trigger on the day after the alert. Day after the alert, the entry trigger was set over 605. I made it about 610. All right, we didn't get a break above that. Instead, what we got is this little doji Sasquatch-looking candle right here, and it wasn't until the next day that it finally decided to go. Now, the market was filled with weakness all week, and as a result, we had not a lot of things that wanted to break out and move to the upside. But we finally got the move, and we got long on this at about 611. Okay, it ended up hitting a high over 2 days of about 647. It never came against us at any point, and this was good for about a 40, I don't know, what was the high day right here? 647 from 611 entry. So we had a 36-cent move on this trade as well. On a few thousand shares, 36 cents is a very healthy profit. Again, it ended up being a 6 to 7% winner. We scaled out on the second day of the trade, taking our profits, moving our stop to $6.35 or so. We ended up getting taken out on the day of the second day of the trade, and so we ended up stopping out with profit. Net win on that was, like I said, just over 6% for us. So it was another great trade. Today it failed to continue going any higher, and so it's dead to me. I've moved on. We got our money out of it, and we're moving on to the next setup. XNPT. Now this hit the scanner and is also a nice reversal setup here. We got a scan alert back on August 11th for this guy. And we're looking for, after this big post-earnings sell-off, comes in, quickly puts in a base, and the buyers drive the price back up towards the gap. Okay, my goal on this trade was to fill the gap. We got long on this trade at 653 was my average entry. We got long on this trade on the day after the alert, and we had a spike up to 662. I was looking to take profits once we moved into the gap over 670 or so. Never quite got there. Didn't break the 200 moving average, which is this yellow line right here. So we never got the move we needed, even though we're in a slightly bullish trend right here. The highest it ended up going for us was 664. Big resistance at 660. Just could not push through, and the volume has started to peter. Excuse me. The volume has started to peter out. So we ended up stopping out of this trade at low of day on the second day at 646 when it made new lows, and it was a 7-cent loss for us. So great risk reward on this trade. We had room up to target was up to about $7. And so we only ended up taking a 7-cent loss on it. There was an opportunity to profit for about 10-12 cents, but I was looking for the bigger move. Okay, that was XNPT. Another trade we took this week was on CAP, CAI International. Okay, we got an alert on this trade on the 9th of August. Well, I guess it would have been the 7th of August since the 9th was on a Sunday. So we got the alert right here. Huge volume move, high relative volume move, with a 4% move to the upside after a big sell-off. We're looking for a reversal on this trade with a lot of room to the upside. Okay, this ended up being somewhat of a dead cat bounce here. We got long on this trade at $14, which is right about here. Okay, we long on this trade at $14 and it ended up hitting a high for us of only 14.16, and it ended up closing. We held it for the bigger move the next day. It couldn't make it, but as we adjusted our stop, we had a tight exit in the 1390 area, and we ended up bailing on that trade. 1380 area. Ended up bailing on that trade the day, huge market down day that followed a big market up day. So everything came down. We stopped out of the trade, and it was a $400 loss for us. But we were looking for the move. You can see here up to about 17 bucks or so, right there, 17 bucks or so. So great risk reward on that trade. Was looking for about $3, $3 maybe over the course of a week, but we didn't even get more than 16 cents. So it's dead to me. Stop out. We move on to the next trade. This is a trade we took the same day as CAP. Another difficult trade here. This hit the scanner on the 7th also. Right about here. Had a high volume, high relative volume move, and a 4% move to the upside. Now look at this beautiful flagging pattern here. This beautiful flag pattern that we have with a nice looking wedge. Excuse me, nice looking wedge pattern. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Excuse me, guys. I'm struggling with my drawing tools right now. Okay, so we have this wedge pattern here. What we're really looking for is a move or a break above it, right? And we want to see this ascending base showing us that the buyers are in control, even though we're not breaking out of the resistance level at the top here. We do finally get a pop where we got long on this trade at $7. Okay, right where the blue line is where we got long. We did have a nice spike up here. Unfortunately, okay, sorry about that. I had my dates wrong. Okay, we got the alert on the 7th. On the 10th, Monday, we were looking for an entry over the $7 resistance area. We got a pop above $7. It only went to $7.05. I figured it would test that $7 area for a while before gaining some traction and finally moving up. Unfortunately, with using a low of day stop at that time, when we entered, our stop was at $6.89. We ended up getting out of this trade for an 11-cent loss. Great risk reward here because of the move to the upside. We were looking for our first sell spot at about 40 cents. Okay, at the next resistance area. It did not end up going. We bailed on the trade. The next day, it ended up going, and look at that. It hit that resistance area just like we expected it to, just like we wanted it to. But we stopped out of the trade too soon, and it went without us. And that is something that I hate when it happens, but it is part of trading. And if you don't stop out of trades, you're going to be in a lot more that don't come back. It's frustrating when they do take off. Again, we had a day where the market tanked halfway through the day, like it has been doing, probably 2-3 days a week for the last 2 months. It's up all day, and then it just sells off hard in the last couple hours, and we get taken out of a lot of our positions as a result. So swing trading has been very difficult in this market, but that does not mean there aren't opportunities. If we were to use smaller size with a wider stop, maybe we'd still be in this, and we would have hit that 740 mark before coming back down over the next few days. So it did exactly what we wanted to do. We were just off by a day. Not a big deal. It's one of those things you can watch because it is a nice flag area. The pattern wasn't really broken, but I wanted instant resolution on the trade, and I have plenty of trades on the watch list every day that give me the opportunity to get that instant resolution. So if I have to move on from a loser, it's not a big deal, and I'll happily do so. So overall, it was a profitable week for us. We made a few $1,000. Not a home run week or anything, but we paid the bills, and that is our goal. Base hits win ball games, not home runs, and every now and then you'll get a good pitch and you will get a home run, but we certainly don't try for home runs. Those conclude our trades from the past week. So if you guys have any questions about any of that stuff, just let me know. I'm going to set up my watch list for next week right now. So make sure you guys check out StockTwits and Twitter, and you'll see what I'm looking at for Monday. And keep an eye out there for the alerts. If you want more information on these types of trades to learn the strategy, more than welcome to check us out at warriortrading.com. And you can join us in our day trading chat room. You can sign up for email, text, and chat room swing trade alerts. You can take our courses, or you can even book a mentor session with us. We've had a lot of people express interest in mentoring one-on-one. And basically, I teach you this exact strategy, and we go over how I find the trades and how I execute them, and how we maintain a year-over-year 70% profitability rating. So if you guys have any questions on that, feel free to contact me. My information is below. If not, have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.